Good day, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to this interview. The presentation is related to the work and educational timeline, the portfolio, and working with the software. In this timeline, we will see a summary of this presentation and its timing. First, let me briefly introduce myself. I am Ramtin from Iran, 31 years old, and I have a master's degree in architecture. I can speak Farsi, English, and German at the B2 level, and one of my big goals is to conduct a seminar about software in different languages worldwide. I am BM specialist, and my favorite software is AutoCAD. The beginning of my story began with the staircase, which is the heart of the building. Before I entered the university in high school, I was engaged in designing and implementing decorative stairs in Mehraz Art Company. I had relative knowledge of marketing and sales and familiarity with AutoCAD software. After this work experience, I went to university and studied architecture for an associate degree and immediately bachelor's degree from 2010 to 2014. Besides the university, I did various jobs related to my field of study. Among the other thing, I got acquainted with other software such as 3D Max, SketchUp, and of course, Photoshop professionally. These are the variety of projects I did from 2010 to 2014. Of course, we will see other example later. The topic of modeling with AutoCAD, rendering with different software, etc. Before reviewing the flagship projects, we will quickly see a video of a part of my initial project in these 4 years. The key projects that I presented in the university as a final project were on the left side. You can see the cultural and educational project related to Listen Plan 2. On the right side, you can see the commercial design project, which is related to Plan 3. You can see Plan 4 on the left side of this hotel project, which was done with AutoCAD, 3D Max, Photoshop, and VRender software. On the right side, you can see some implementation examples. I mean, design along with execution. The first one has an animation which you can see below, which was done with the Cinema 4D After Effects software. And this is where I got to know about Cinema 4D. My final project in the undergraduate course was a student camp that was completely designed and modeled with AutoCAD, and I was one of the best projects in the class. After receiving my bachelor's degree from 2006 to 2015, I worked part-time at Mehraz Art Company, which is owned by my uncle and is one of the biggest architects in Iran. In the same field of decorative stairs, for building faces and interior design that we saw together. Then I joined the military from 2015 to 2017. After serving my country from 2017 to 2018, I worked as a freelancer, as a BIM modeler, as well as a CG artist and designer. In the following, we will see a part of this portfolio. This is a student project, but it is important to me because it is in Switzerland, and here I got to know the architecture and building laws, laws of German speaking countries. This is another project in Austria, as well as other projects from England, and a classic design from a project in Germany. Together, we see an example of animation with AutoCAD and Twinmotion. Although, in this video, we will see the design of classical and Islamic projects that have very complex modeling, which I did with AutoCAD and Inkscape software. After that, from 2018 to 2020, I registered my company under the name of Ramtin Mehraz, although I closed my office a few months ago. In the meantime, I was employed as a BIM manager for the Urban Train Line 4 project for a while in the company, the metro project, which was a very good experiences, and I was able to develop my knowledge in the field of BIM. Well, as you can see, from 2018 to 2020, I was a lecturer at universities and in institutes, and I was able to write 5 volumes of books as research, which you can see on the right. Of course, I wrote another book in Persian, English, and German, which I have not published yet. I also wrote several articles in the field of BIM, architectural technologies, sustainable architecture, and many others. Finally, from 2019 to 2022, I obtained a master's degree in architectural engineering. In the following, we will see some example of students, projects, and competitions that I designed at the university at the graduate level. Parent City Hall was the first project, and of course the competition that I practiced in. The next project of the Khorasan Museum was based on the rich and indigenous culture of Iran, which I was example more in the video. The project is done with AutoCAD and Twinmotion software. The idea of this project is based on the story of one of the famous Iranian celebrities named Attar Neishaburi. Hall of Fame, Book Museum, Soil Museum, and many parts of it that I hope to talk more about in person. Next, my final project or master thesis is related to the design of the urban training station or metro project station, which we will learn more about in this video. First, let me say that I made this teaser with After Effects and of course AutoCAD and Twinmotion. This project used TOD, that is all I can talk about this project for hours. And finally, I participated in several architecture competitions, which is an example of my villa design work. This was the architecture section and my architectural experience. Recently, I also worked in the facility sector, and these are example of my work. And my goal was to implement BIM disciplines closely together. Also, in this video, you will see the complete project with all disciplines that we did in AutoCAD. Of course, we also used Unreal Engine for the final presentation. Finally, the implementation of all disciplines with AR and VR, the purpose of which is to implement interferometry, augmented reality, and virtual reality. The use of artificial intelligence in architecture and the construction industry. And finally, presentation. Likewise, point cloud and BIM cloud or the same networking that I have mastered. Thank you very much for staying with me until the end. I am at your service for any question you may have, and I would be happy to hear any comments you have about my presentation. In the end, I will finish my speech with a proverb: where there is a will, there is a way. Thank you.